There is a moment in every dynamic with an avoidant partner that feels like the end of the world. It is the moment they pull away. They shut down. They go cold. You reach out, and you are met with silence. You try to fix it, and they build a wall. You pour your heart out, and they act indifferent. Eventually, you stop. You stop chasing. You stop texting. You stop trying to convince them of your worth. You go silent. And in that silence, you feel like you have lost. You feel like they have won. You imagine them out there, relieved to be rid of you, happy to be free, living their best life without a single thought of you. But let me tell you something that will shatter that illusion forever. What looks like relief on the outside is actually the calm before their internal storm. They do not know it yet. You do not know it yet. But your silence is not nothing. Your silence is a weapon. It is a slow-acting mirror that is about to force them to look at everything they have been running from. Right now, they think they are safe. They think they are in control. But they are about to crumble. And when they do, the regret will be heavier than anything they have ever carried. Today, I am going to walk you through the hidden timeline of an avoidance mind during no contact. I am going to show you exactly what happens when the relief fades and the reality hits. By the end of this video, you will understand why your absence is the most powerful presence they have ever felt. But be warned. The first stage of their reaction is deceptive. It looks like they don't care at all. It looks like they've moved on instantly. But do not be fooled by the mask, because what is happening underneath the surface is the exact opposite of indifference. Stage 1. The false relief. The freedom phase. The first thing that happens when you go silent is paradoxically painful for you to witness. They feel relief. I know this hurts to hear. But you must understand the biology of an avoidant. An avoidant person equates intimacy with pressure. When you were trying to get close, trying to fix things, trying to love them, their nervous system felt like it was suffocating. They felt engulfed. They felt controlled. So, when you finally stop, the pressure lifts. They take a deep breath. They think, finally. I can breathe. I am free. I can do what I want. They might post happy photos. They might seem more social. They might act like a huge weight has been lifted off their shoulders. This is the phase where most people break no contact. You see their relief, and you panic. You think, they are forgetting me. I need to remind them I exist. But that is the trap. If you reach out now, you validate their fear. You prove to them that you are a source of pressure. You reset the clock. You must let them have their relief. You must let them enjoy the silence. Because relief is temporary. Relief only lasts as long as the memory of the pressure. Once the memory of the pressure fades, a new feeling begins to creep in. A feeling they have spent their entire life trying to outrun. And here is the secret: relief has a shelf life. It usually lasts about 3 to 4 weeks. And the moment that shelf life expires, the silence stops feeling like freedom and starts feeling like a void. That is when stage 2 begins, and trust me, this is where the cracks start to show. If you can withstand the pain of their relief phase, you will witness the shift. It is subtle at first, but it is undeniable. It is the moment when they realize that freedom feels suspiciously like loneliness. Stage 2. The curiosity creep. After the initial high of relief wears off, the silence starts to change texture. It stops feeling like space and starts feeling like absence. This is when curiosity sets in. An avoidant expects you to chase. Their entire relationship history is likely filled with people who begged, pleaded, and pursued them. It validates their worldview: I am the prize. People want me. I am in control. But when you stay silent, truly silent, you break the script. They start to check their phone, expecting the text that always comes. It isn't there. They check your social media, expecting to see sad quotes or angry posts about them. Instead, they see nothing. Or worse, they see you living your life. They start to wonder, why aren't they chasing? Did they move on? Was I not as important as I thought? This is the crack in the armor. Their ego takes a hit. The narrative they built, "I left them because they were too needy," stops making sense. If you were so needy, why are you fine without them? If you were so desperate, why aren't you begging? They start to feel a low-level anxiety. They might start orbiting you, watching your stories, liking old posts, maybe sending a breadcrumb text just to see if you will jump. Do not jump. If you respond to the breadcrumb, you hand them their power back. You tell them, "Yes, I am still waiting." And their anxiety dissolves, and they go back to relief. But if you ignore the breadcrumb, if you maintain the silence, the curiosity turns into something much darker for them. It turns into doubt. Here is the truth: and avoidant self-esteem is often tied to being wanted but not had. When you stop wanting them visibly, they lose their supply. And that loss triggers the next phase, the one where the regret finally starts to bleed through the cracks of their composure. If stage 1 was about their relief, and stage 2 was about their ego, then stage 3 is where the emotional reality finally hits home. This is the stage where the silence breaks them. Stage 3. The fear of permanent loss. This is the turning point. This is the moment they realize that your silence is not a game. It is not a tactic to get them back. It is a boundary. They realize that you might actually be gone. For an avoidant, this is terrifying. Despite their behavior, avoidants have a deep, core wound of abandonment. They push people away before they can be left. But when you leave quietly, without a fight, it triggers that primal wound. They start to idealize you. This is called the Phantom X syndrome. When you were present, they focused on your flaws to justify pulling away. They are too loud, too emotional, too demanding. But now that you are absent, their brain flips. They start remembering the good. They really loved me. They understood me. I felt safe with them. The silence acts as a vacuum that sucks out the negativity and leaves only the nostalgia. They start to compare everyone else to you, and everyone else falls short. They realize that the safety they felt with you was rare. They realize that the freedom they chased is actually just isolation. They start to feel the weight of their own decision. They look at the empty space in their life where you used to be, and for the first time, they don't feel relief. They feel regret. But wait, this is the most dangerous moment for you. Because when they feel this fear, they might reach out. But they won't reach out with an apology, they will reach out with a test. And if you fail this test, you reset the entire cycle of pain. I'm going to tell you exactly what that test looks like next. The reach-out test. When the regret hits, an avoidant rarely comes back with flowers and a ring. That is a movie. In real life, they come back with something safe. Something small. Something deniable. They send a text that says, "Hey." Or "I saw this and thought of you." Or "How are you?" This is the test. They are checking the temperature. They want to know, are you still mine? Are you still angry? Are you still waiting? If you reply instantly with enthusiasm, if you pour your heart out, they will panic. They will feel the pressure again, and they will run. You will have relieved their anxiety, but you will have reignited their avoidance. But if you respond calmly, slowly, or not at all, if you act like someone who has nothing to prove and nothing to lose, they crumble. They realize that the dynamic has shifted. They realize that they are no longer the one holding the cards. They realize that to have you in their life, they will have to do more than just show up, they will have to step up. Your silence forces them to confront their own emotional unavailability. It forces them to see that their strategy of running away has finally cost them something valuable. The spiritual truth. Silence is a mirror. Let's look at this through a spiritual lens. Why is this happening? Why the pain? Why the silence? Your silence is a gift to them. As long as you were chasing, you were distracting them from their own void. You were doing the emotional work for both of you. By going silent, you held up a mirror. You forced them to sit in the room with themselves. You forced them to feel the consequences of their own actions. This is not punishment, it is clarity. You are teaching them that your love is a privilege, not a right. You are teaching them that access to your energy requires respect, consistency, and presence. And more importantly, you are teaching yourself that you can survive without them. You are reclaiming the pieces of your soul that you left in their hands. The final ritual. If this message resonated with your spirit today, if you felt a sense of vindication knowing that your silence is working, then I invite you to make a powerful declaration. I want you to signal to the universe that you are done chasing. I want you to anchor yourself in your own worth. Close your eyes for just a second. Visualize the person you are thinking about. See them reaching out for you in the dark. And visualize yourself standing tall, glowing with your own light, unmoved by their confusion. And silently say, I am the prize. My silence is my power. And to seal this intention, go to the comments below and write these simple words. I reclaim my energy. Let those words be your shield. Let them be the moment you stop wondering what they are thinking and start focusing on what you are building. They will regret it. They will crumble. But by the time they do, you might realize that you have already built a castle so beautiful that you no longer need them to complete it. Thank you for sharing your energy with me today.